Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the March 9th, 2026 City Council meeting. And Madam Clerk, when you are ready, would you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Melly Garthwaite,
Melly Garthwaite, Council at Large, present.
Councilman Peter Rivera,
Councilman Peter Rivera, at large, present.
Councilman Sean Ronan,
Here.
Councilwoman Ann Heffernan,
Councilwoman Ann Heffernan, 1st District here.
Councilwoman Nancy Tagliatella,
Councilwoman Nancy Tagliatella, 2nd District here.
Councilwoman Sarah Akbarali,
Councilwoman Sarah Akbarali, 3rd District, present.
Councilman Gary Donovan,
Councilman Gary Donovan, 4th District, present.
Councilman Edward McMillan,
Councilman Edward McMillan, 5th District, present.
Councilwoman Dawn Callahan,
Councilwoman Dawn Callahan, 6th District, present.
Councilwoman Catherine Tucker,
Councilwoman Catherine Tucker, 7th District, present.
Councilman David Beaton,
Councilman David Beaton, 9th District, present.
Councilman Ronald Quagliani,
Ron Quagliani, 10th District, present.
and Chairman Christopher Vargo.
Chairman Christopher Vargo, 8th District present.
And we have a full house, Chairman.
Full house. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, before we get on with the regular business, we do have two public hearings this evening, Communication E from the January 12th agenda and Communication C from the February 9th agenda, both under legislative matters. So at this time, I will kick it over to Chairman Quagliani.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first public hearing from legislative matters. Those present from legislative matters are Councilwoman Akbarali, Councilman Ronan, Councilwoman Tucker, Councilwoman Garthwaite, and myself acting as chair. Our first public hearing is, as you stated, for Communication E from the January 12th, 2026 agenda from Mayor Dorinda Boer, requesting consideration and action regarding an amendment to Chapter 191 Sewers, Article 10 of the Code of the City of West Haven. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address the council on this matter? For a second time, anyone from the public like to address the council on this matter? And for the third and final time, anyone from the public like to address the council on this matter? Seeing none, the public hearing is closed. Next public hearing is Communication C from the February 9th, 2026 agenda from Mayor Dorinda Boer, requesting consideration and action regarding amendment to Chapter 101, Section 101-1 fees relating to planning and zoning of the Code of the City of West Haven. Is there anyone from the public that would like to address the City Council on this matter? For a second time, anyone from the public like to address the City Council on this matter? About fees for planning and zoning. And for the third and final time, would anyone like to address the City Council regarding this matter? No, not yet. Seeing none, the public hearing on Communication C from the February 9th, 2026 agenda has been closed. That concludes the business, Mr. Chairman, at 6:59 p.m.
Thank you, Chairman Quagliani. Time is 6:59. We are going to have to go in recess for about 1 minute. Okay, we are reconvening at 7 o'clock, and at the time we will enter public session. Would anyone from the public like to address the City Council? For a second time, would anyone from the public like to address the City Council? Mr. Combs?
Kristen Jacome, Hakome, 53 Sumac Street. First, I just wanted to say I might not stick around, but I did want to formally introduce myself later on. I know I met Councilman who is in the district of Sumac Street. And my comments today, I wasn't planning on going on first, but the MDP, I did see that it was uploaded. And what really stands out to me is the cool charts. You know, when going to school for marketing, there are certain numbers that stick out to you. And the diversity of West Haven, it has a lot of diversity, which I love to see. And the MDP plan, of all the suggestions that's being made, I do feel like things are already happening, but I don't think the right voices, as I mentioned in my last public comment, are being elevated because there are active contributors as residents who have been putting in both the work for murals and putting in ramps of what was suggested. And what I also wanted to point out is Steve Fontana leaving. You know, everybody could do as they please when they're working for a job, a career, but it kind of questions why would he leave on such a big time for West Haven and something he probably worked really hard at to get to this point. So those are some comments I wanted to make. And yeah, I do know there's a zoning meeting tomorrow. You know, being in West Haven and being pretty young, I did have friends who have businesses through families in all different towns. And I just want to be sure to stand up for them. So these are my comments being made for the city of West Haven. I want to be sure that these plans going forward, we just have the right people and we're really working together as a collective. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Would anyone else from the public like to address City Council? Sir?
Good evening. My name is Christopher Jordan. Excuse me. And I would like to know everybody that represent me that's sitting around here.
Sir, I'm sorry to interrupt. Could you please state your name for the record, please?
Christopher Jordan.
And your address, please?
36 Terrace Avenue.
36
Terrace Avenue.
Terrace Avenue. Thank you, sir.
I want to know everybody that represent me right here. I would like to. Okay, all right. My question is, my thing is, on my street, right? They dug the street up. In front of my house is a big pothole in front of it, and I want to know who's gonna fix that.
Sir, we'll make sure that Public Works is aware of the issue. This is not a back and forth between the council and the public. This is an opportunity for you to present your comments or concerns to us. But if you have issues in front of your home on your road, we'll make sure that Public Works is aware of it.
Sure, because I used to work for the city. I'm a state worker now.
Okay.
I know how that go. All right.
We'll make sure they're aware.
All right.
And actually, I think the mayor will speak with you.
Okay.
Would anyone else from the public like to address the City Council? For a second time, would anyone from the public? I'm sorry, ma'am. I thought you were getting up to leave. You want to go next? Oh, okay.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. My name is Donald Lewis. I live on 36 Ellen Drive, located off of Bullhill Lane. I'm here to speak about what's been happening to us on Bullhill Lane with street not getting plowed. I believe you're my representative in the 10th district. For years, this has been going on, okay, where the city sends a regular pickup truck to plow the street, and they come around 10 feet from the mailbox, make one pass, and that's the end of it. I have been to the Public Works office numerous amount of times. When it snows out, we don't see a plow on our street for 10 hours. Okay? They don't send a plow, big plow. They don't send I forgot the grader or whatever. They don't send it on the street. They don't do anything on the street. Came in here numerous times to fix this problem. There are elderly people on that street. Everybody's in their 70s, have a 98-year-old resident on the street. For years, I've been coming in here when Mark Payne was in here, and he's the one that told me that we are the last ones to get plowed. They have to finish Benham Hill first. Then we get plowed. So here comes a pickup truck who comes around and plows 10 feet away from the curb, the mailbox. After the first snowfall, I had to email my councilman. We were stuck on the street. There hadn't been a plow around there for close to 24 hours. Fortunately, he, got in touch with somebody and cleared the street that night. After the next snowfall, the last one we had, I was stuck on that street for 2 days. 2 days I was stuck on that street. The way they plowed that street, if there ever was an emergency or a fire on the street, our houses would have burnt down or somebody would have been in big trouble. I called to get it done, get the street fixed. They came and plowed, right? Half a job. I had to reach out. One of the assistant foremen came up and I he gave me his card and I called him. The payloader came up there and dumped half the snow on my front lawn. I have a pile of snow on my front lawn that was 6 foot high, 10 feet long, okay, and 8 feet wide. That was on my front lawn. Came in here because I had an emergency. I had a sewer backup, and I had people coming in here. I came in here last Thursday to see if I could get somebody to take the snow off of my lawn. I had been calling for 7 days and didn't get any answers on anything. I walked in that Public Works office last Wednesday or Thursday. I forgot what day it was. And it was despicable the way I was treated. It was like I had a plague when I walked in there. Everybody ran to the back of the office and didn't take care of me. Then I was told I would have to wait 20 minutes for a foreman to come off the street to talk to me. In the meantime, somebody came up to the counter, another guy. Like I said, I've been down there numerous times and just sat there and, I don't know if they thought I was going to cause trouble or what. The bottom line here is people's lives are at risk, okay, with this. What is going on right now is not working. You cannot send a pickup truck down that cul-de-sac. It is a 2-lane road. There is a lot of snow over there. The thing of it is that I constantly looking for somebody to come plow. I see city trucks come past my street. I see the payloader come past my street. They don't turn down the street. They're coming off either Fresh Meadow Road or Silmore Road Extension. And I could look out my back window and see them on Ranch Road Drive. But not a big plow, not a payloader comes onto my street. They send a pickup truck from across the street in the park wreck 10 hours later to plow the street. Once again, there are elderly people on that street. First lady who lives in the house is 78 years old. Next lady is 98 years old. I'm in my late 70s. People next door, 2 people next door to me. One has cancer, and the other lady is in her 70s. Lady next door, and I know there's not no firemen here, but within the last 2 months, she's had the fire department over there at least 6 times. But what I'm saying is, this is not right, what's happening. And the mayor, you're sitting there, you see me in the office the last time when I came in there and talked to you about this. And your boss in there, he couldn't get nobody over there quick enough. When I turned into my street, I thought I was going to get rear-ended. He got somebody over there fast. But when I went in there last week, He just walked away, and everybody in that office walked away from me. What I'm saying here is, right now, the plan that they got to send the small trucks and to do us at the end of there's plowing up in Benham Hill and West Shore is putting people at risk. We need big equipment to come in that street. It's not a small cul-de-sac. And the way I've been treated in that public works office, I called, like I said, for almost, this is going on 2 weeks, and the snow is still on my lawn. He wouldn't send nobody up there to move it. Okay? What I'm asking for, is for them, for I don't know who it is, or whatever, to come up with another plan, because people's lives are at risk. The second snowstorm, you could not pass on that street. We couldn't get an emergency vehicle in there. And if anybody wants to see a picture, I'll show it to them. But what even irked me even more, that street wasn't plowed. It took me 2 days to get out there, but I looked across the street and see the road to the dog park being plowed, and my street wasn't plowed. So I'm here, and I'm asking you, do something about this plan that they got to make us last on the list 10 hours later, and then when they do come around, all the snow is pushed in front of my house. That's why I call, because I'm in the middle of the block. And all I'm saying is people's lives are being put at risk. And I'm asking you, Mayor, to do something about this. I just, give me one more minute. I just want to say that I came to the city in 1957, moved here in 1957. I've always been involved in my neighborhood. I'm involved in that neighborhood. Went to work for the city of West Haven, Park Rec in 1968. Ran all the programs at Carrigan School. My brother was one of the first 2 black police officers in West Haven. I've been around in West Haven a long time. So I'm not a complainer. I try to do things for people and stuff, and I try to do something for people on my block, okay, before something happens to them or to me. And I just hope that this gets corrected, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for bringing this to our attention. Would anyone else from the public like to address the city council? Sir? Mr. Lewis? You live on Ellen Drive, E-L-L-E-N? Allen Drive, thank you.
No problem. Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Dora Barnes. I live at 71 Tetlow Street. So it's kind of a nice segue that I really went after Mr. Lewis spoke, especially after the comment that he just made about, asking to put the lights on, at Nike site. That's actually what I'm here for. So I'm here to speak up and advocate for some type of recreation or some type of activity for the youth. And when I say the youth, I'm thinking more of the teens, I guess 13 to 17, I'm understanding is the forgotten group in the city. So I'm here to advocate for them, to see if there is anything that we can do to get some type of activity, something that is an offering, something so they're not hanging out on the street, something so they're not getting into trouble. So that was the first thing I wanted to touch base on. And as I said again, advocating for the kids, also in the education system. So not only am I a resident here in West Haven, I am also an employee of the Board of Ed. And I've brought this up multiple times. I guess it's fallen on deaf ears. So I'm here. So in advocating for the kids, I'm advocating to ask, are there in a district of, I believe it's 9 schools, and somebody can quote me if I'm wrong, but off the top of my head, I think it's 9 schools total. So in a district with 9 schools and a principal in each school, and at least 2 assistant principals in each building, we have 1 black administrator. That just blows my mind. And with the amount of kids, diversity, again, so advocating for kids, advocating for changes within that as well. So I appreciate you all. I'm going to keep coming because I feel like it just needs to keep being heard until something changes. So I appreciate you all this evening. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Would anyone else from the public like to address the City Council?
Good evening. My name is Diane Chandler. I'm on 60 Forest Road in West Haven. UNH is kind of taking over. I am the only house on that street on Forest Road that does not have a driveway. So I've been there for almost 30 years, and I've been off-street parking. Before that, I parked at the library, which we can no longer park there because I believe now it's private property. It seems that a lot of my neighbors are renting their homes to UNH, and so where I used to park, I can no longer park. And then if you park in other areas, now I have neighbors calling the police because they're policing the front of their homes. I have, even though the cops say, no, you can't, this is private, this is not private property, they're putting up signs, they're leaving notes. I've had students from UNH approach me and say, I can't park there. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm a taxpayer. I've been here for almost 30 years. Intimidation. They have friends come over, they're double parking. They're taking 2 or 3 spaces because they're parking backwards. I've reached out to the chief of police. I've called UNH. It's just, I can't catch a break. So if I'm parking, I can't find a parking, I'm parking in other areas, then the neighbors are calling because they seem to think it's their parking. Or I get the students that are renting saying, you can't park here, and they're coming outside with their friends, trying to intimidate. So I've called the city of West Haven. I've written. I've reached out to the chief of police. They say, take pictures, send them to me. I've done all that, and still. And then the renters are leaving their garbage out. So garbage is everywhere. They don't pick it up. They throw the garbage cans down. We're getting animals like never before that I've seen all over. So I don't know what else to do, but, come here. Someone said, you should come here to the town meeting to address it. But like I said, I did reach out to the chief of police, sent emails, and I've gotten nowhere. Cars are still parked backwards, still doing double spaces, and still coming out threatening me that I can't park there. I even have one neighbor around the corner that puts sticks with nails so that you don't park in her area. So hopefully something can be done. They're putting cones. So if anybody can help, that would be helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else from the public like to address the City Council? For a second time, would anyone else from the public like to address the City Council? For a third and final time, would anyone else from the public like to address the City Council? Seeing none, public session is closed. The time is 7:20. Time is 7:20, and the regular March 9th, 2026 meeting of the City Council will now convene. One piece of housekeeping. I'm looking for a motion to amend this evening's agenda to include communications H, I, J, and K under the Finance Committee both under committees and under committee reports. May I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a first from Councilwoman Akbarelli. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilwoman Heffernan. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. May I have a motion to accept the minutes of the February 9, 2026 regular meeting?
Motion.
I have a first from Councilwoman Tagliatella. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilwoman Akbarelli. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. I'm sorry, one abstention. Motion carries. May I have a motion to accept the minutes of the February 26, 2026 special meeting? First from Councilman Beaton. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Ronan. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? 2 abstentions. Motion carries. Madam Clerk, when you are ready, would you please read this evening's communications?
We have before us this evening Communication A from the February 23, 2026 agenda from the tax collector regarding a refund of overpayments for January 2026, which will be filed with tonight's minutes. Communication B from the February 23rd, 2026 agenda from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting referral of the Downtown Municipal Development Plan, MDDP, to the Planning and Zoning Commission pursuant to Connecticut General Statutes Section 8-191 and designation of the West Haven Redevelopment Agency as the City of West Haven's development agency for the purpose of holding a public hearing on the MDP, being assigned to the Infrastructure and Technology Committee, Chairman Rivera. Communication C from the February 23rd, 2026 agenda from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding the appointment of Colleen Witherspoon, 187 White Street, West Haven, to the Ethics Commission. Ms. Witherspoon's appointment will be replacing Jeffrey Moreno, whose term expired and will be effective immediately and expires on January 31st, 2031, being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, Chairman Ronan. Communication D from the February 23rd, 2026 agenda from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding the appointment of Arthur Kelly, 19 Holcomb Street, West Haven, to the Ethics Commission. Mr. Kelly's appointment will be replacing Richard Tracy, whose term expired and will become effective immediately and expires on January 31st, 2031, being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, Chairman Ronan. Communication E from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding the appointment of Sean Fawnin, 65 Perry Merrill Drive, West Haven, to the West Haven Allingtown Fire Commission panel of alternates. Mr. Fawnin's appointment will be filling a vacancy and will become effective immediately and expires on January 31st, 2029, being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, Chairman Ronan. Communication F from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding the appointment of Richard Tracy, 85 Honeypot Road, West Haven, to the West Haven Housing Authority. Mr. Tracy's appointment will be replacing Rosemary Payne, whose term expired and will become effective immediately and expires on March 31st, 2031. Being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, Chairman Ronan. Communication G from Chief Joseph Perno regarding animal control donations, being assigned to the Finance Committee, Chairwoman Akbarali. Communication H from Diane Dietman, Director of Youth and Family Services, requesting consideration and action on an application to the Community Development Block Grant Program of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for Program Year 52, Fiscal Year 2026-2027, WH Inc. Is it England and English and Spanish parent support groups, and respite in the amount of $2,551 being assigned to the Finance Committee, Chairwoman Akbarali. Communication I from Diane Dietman, Director of Youth and Family Services, requesting consideration and action regarding an application to the Community Development Block Grant Program of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for Program Year 52, Fiscal Year 2026-2027, to the WH Inc. CAF support program for families of children with special needs in the amount of $9,550 being assigned to the Finance Committee, Chairwoman Akbar Ali. Communication J from Diane Dietman, Director of Youth and Family Services, requesting consideration and action regarding an application to the Community Development Block Grant Program of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for Program Year 52, Fiscal Year 2026-2027, SIP Shop at WH Inc. in the amount of $2,600 being assigned to the Finance Committee, Chairwoman Akbar Ali. Communication K from Diane Dietman, Director of Youth and Family Services, requesting consideration and action regarding an application to the Community Development Block Grant Program of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for Program Year 52, Fiscal Year 2026-27, WH Inc. Social Club for Disabled Teens and Young Adults in the amount of $3,500 being assigned to the Finance Committee, Chairwoman Akbar Ali, and that concludes your communications for this evening, Mr. Chairman.
You want to do that again?
Nope.
Okay. Thank you, Stacy. Time is 7:26, and we will recess into committee meetings. First up is the new Infrastructure and Technology Committee, Chairman Rivera.
Thank you, Chairman Vargo. The time is now 7:26. The Committee of Infrastructure and Technology is now in session. Present are council persons Quagliani, McMillan, Heffernan, and Garthwaite, and myself acting as chair. We have before us communication letter B from the February 23rd, 2026 meeting, which is from Mayor Dorinda Borer requesting referral of the Downtown Municipal Development Plan to the Planning and Zoning Commission pursuant to Connecticut General Statute 8-191. I am looking for a motion to refer the Downtown Municipal Development Plan to the Planning and Zoning Committee.
Motion.
Second.
Got the motion, got the second. This is all in favor. Any opposed? Oh, open for discussion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Hold on a second. I think the mayor.
Sure.
I could if you want.
Yes.
You want? Okay.
I always want you to say something.
Okay, so the municipal development plan, does this have to go to public lands as well, or no? Okay. All right, so, just a very friendly reminder, for those listening, I know you all have this large package in front of you, but we had asked the state of Connecticut through the SIF Community Investment Fund grant for funding to assist with downtown, because we don't have the funds to upgrade downtown. And they said in order to do that, you need to have a professional plan done with a consultant that has engineers, and they do this. They're experienced and knowledgeable, and so that is what we did. And the consultants went out and they went down the beach to the concerts. They went over to UNH. They stood in front of City Hall. They tried to get as much varied input as they can to create this. And the state said, if you create a plan, and we will give you the funding to create the plan. So the state paid for this plan. We did not. Then come back to us with the plan, with your request for funding. Doesn't mean we're going to get the funding, but they asked us to put together a professional plan, and that's what we did. And I think they did a pretty thorough job and tried to consider different demographics, different age groups, different considerations for moving downtown forward. Just a reminder. Downtown's tough because you have a lot of private owners. So unless they want to sell to us, and it's challenging to get them to change some of their buildings. So we are constantly monitoring them for any blight or anything we could do. But what this is more is for public space. So we feel if we upgrade the public space around these buildings, it'll be an incentive for them to improve. Or an incentive for somebody to buy their building from them and improve it. So a lot of it has to do with the parking lots, the green, the sidewalks, the infrastructure, and that's why it's under infrastructure. So, thanks.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. We do have a second part of communication B, part B. from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting designation of the West Haven Redevelopment Agency as the City of West Haven's development agency for the purpose of holding a public hearing on the MDP. Any discussion? Oh, and motion?
I'd like to make a motion.
Any discussion? Oh, I thought I heard a second.
So we have a motion by Heffernan, second by
McMillan.
McMillan. Gotcha.
Good. Any discussion? Mayor, would you like to make any comments about that? Good. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion passes. And that concludes the business of the Infrastructure and Technology Committee. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the time is now 7:31.
Okay, next up is the Finance Committee, Chairwoman Akbarelli.
Thank you, Chairman. Time is now 7:31, and your Committee on Finance is now in session. Members present are Councilman Donovan, Councilman Quagliani, Councilwoman Tucker, Councilwoman Garthwaite, and myself, Councilwoman Akbarali, as chair. First up, we have Communication G from Chief Joseph Perno regarding animal control donations. I would like to open this up favorably. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Nobody got me.
I'd like to open it up to the entire council. Any discussion from the council? Seeing there are none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Up next, we have Communication H from Diane Dietman, Director of Youth and Family Services, requesting consideration and action on an application to the Community Development Block Grant Program of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for PY52 FY 2026 to 2027, WHINC, English and Spanish Parent Support Groups, and respite in the amount of $2,551. I'd like to open this up favorably. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Anyone on the committee have any discussion? Mayor,
Chairwoman.
did you have anything to add?
I just wanted to again thank those who work in our youth development department. I can't emphasize enough the work that they do for families, particularly with youth with special needs. They not only provide programs for those with special needs, but also for their siblings and for the families. So I've attended a lot of those, and it's just really, great to see relief for families, and it allows those children to socialize with other children, sometimes with similar needs. So the work that they do in our youth department is really valuable, and I just really wanted to thank them, and these are good programs to support.
I couldn't agree more. Councilman Donovan.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Yeah, I second what the mayor said. I have, I know residents of mine that asked about certain programs, and I've sent them this way to the Youth and Family Services, and they couldn't be happier with the process and the programs that are out there. So, the Director Dietman, she can go out there and get all the block grants. I'm okay with every one of them that, she can apply for and get. So, yeah, they do a great job over there. So, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other comments? Anyone on the council? Seeing there are no more comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next, we have Communication I from Diane Dietman, Director of Youth and Family Services, requesting consideration and action regarding an application to the Community Development Block Grant Program of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for PY52, FY 2026 to 2027, WHINC CAFE support program for families and children with special needs in the amount of $9,550. I'd like to open this up favorably, please. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Thank you.
Second.
Does anyone on the committee have any questions? Anyone on the council? Mayor, did you want to add anything?
I just forgot to mention that today we actually talked to Connecticut Special Olympics. It kind of ties in. That's why I'm mentioning it. And we are going to be the host city again. So that'll be in September, but I'm very excited, very proud that they've chosen West Haven, and it is just a wonderful event, and we are very proud to host it again.
Thank you, Mayor Bohr. Any other questions or comments? Seeing there are none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Communication J from Diane Dietman, Director of Youth and Family Services, requesting consideration and action regarding an application to the Community Development Block Grant Program of U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for a PY52, FY 2026 to 2027. What is that? Oh, SIP shop, thank you. At WHINC in the amount of $2,600. I'd like to open this up favorably, please.
Motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you very much. Anyone on the committee have any questions? Mayor Bohr, did you want to add anything? Jay, sorry. All right. Anyone on the council? Seeing there are no more questions or comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Communication K from Diane Dietman, Director of Youth and Family Services, requesting consideration and action regarding an application to the Community Development Block Grant Program of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for PY52, FY 2026 to 2027, WHINC Social Club for disabled teens and youth adults in the amount of $3,500. I'd like to open this up favorably, please.
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Anyone on the committee have any questions or comments? Mayor Bohr, did you want to add anything to that? Nope. All right. Councilwoman Callahan. Sorry.
I know the words are all getting jumbled tonight. I just want to make a comment about Ms. Dietman. She has been an incredible asset and an employee to our community and for these children. She is hands down. I have never seen anybody so dedicated and really committed to these programs, and I just want to say thank you to her for that.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Anyone else have any questions or comments? Seeing there are none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Chairman, the time is now 7:40 and your Committee on Finance is now closed.
Thank you. Next up is the Committee on Legislative Matters. Chairman Quagliani.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Legislative Matters Committee is now in session. The time is 7:38. Before us is Communication E from the January 12th, 2026 agenda from Mayor Dorinda Bohr, requesting consideration and action regarding amendment to Chapter 191 Sewers, Article 10 of the Code of the City of West Haven, which reads, Summary of an ordinance amending Chapter 191 Sewers, Article 10 Violations. The proposed amendment to Article 10 of Chapter 191 Sewers reorganizes existing sections, eliminates redundancies between sections, updates references to the general statutes as amended, and adds the following section for illegal sewer hookups and repairs and alterations performed without a permit. Section 191-69 Penalties for offenses of Section 191-42. A. Any person or entity found to have violated Section 191-42 shall be fined $100 per day for each occurrence from the date of the illegal activity first occurred until the date that the activity in violation is abated. B. Any connection made to the sewer collection system without a permit issued by the superintendent, and any alteration or repair made to an existing connection without a permit issued by the superintendent shall be subject to immediate disconnection by the WPCA. C. Any person who is found to be in violation of 191-42 of this chapter shall be subject to arrest under a charge of disorderly conduct. D. Any person who is found to be in violation of Section 22A.430 of the Connecticut General Statutes, as may be amended, shall be subject to monetary penalty or forfeiture under Section 22A.438. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Any discussion by the committee? Any discussion by the council? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? And that carries. Thank you. Next is up is Communication C from February 9th, 2026, from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding an amendment to Chapter 101, Section 1011, fees relating to planning and zoning of the Code of the City of West Haven. Second reading, which reads, Amendment to City Code Section 101-1, Schedule of Fees for Application Services, Maps and Publications relating to Planning and Zoning. An amendment to the City Code Section 101-1, Schedule of Fees for Applications, Services, Maps, and Publications relating to Planning and Zoning. This proposed amendment increases several fees. The majority of the fees are being increased by approximately $25 to $50. These fees have not been reviewed or adjusted in over 13 years, so these increases are necessary to account for increases in providing these services. Seeing that's the second reading, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second? Second by Councilman Ronan. Any discussion from the committee? Any discussion from the council? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. That concludes the business of legislative matters, Mr. Chairman, at 7:42.
Thank you. Next up is the Committee on Personnel and Civil Service, Chairman Ronan.
The Committee on Personnel and Civil Service is now in session. Members present are councilpersons Tagliatella, councilperson Akbarali, Councilman Rivera, Councilwoman Garthwaite, and myself, Councilman Ronan, acting as chair. Sorry. New stuff. Huh? Really? All right. Starting over. The time is still 7:42. The Committee on Personnel and Civil Service is now in session. Members present are councilpersons Tagliatella, councilperson Akbarali, councilperson Rivera, councilperson Garthwaite, and myself, Councilman Ronan, acting as chair. We have before us tonight Communication C from the February 23rd, 2026 agenda from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding the appointment of Colleen Weatherspoon, 187 White Street, West Haven, to the Ethics Commission. Ms. Weatherspoon's appointment will be replacing Jeff Moreno, whose term expired and will be effective immediately and expires on January 31st, 2031. I'd like to entertain a motion to bring this out favorably to the whole council.
Second.
Thank you, thank you. Any discussion? Go ahead.
I personally know Colleen Weatherspoon personally, and I think she'll make an excellent addition to the Ethics Commission. That's all I have.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other further discussion? Whole council? Any? Go ahead.
I'm just going to reiterate what Sarah said. I've known Colleen probably all my life, and I am so excited for her. She's going to do a phenomenal job. So,
Excellent.
yeah,
Thank
very
you.
happy for her.
Thank you.
And us.
Whole council? Go ahead. Yes.
I too know Colleen. I've known her for many, many years, and her family, and she is a wonderful addition. So I'm excited to see that she was nominated, and I would definitely support her in this position as well.
Thank you, Councilwoman Tucker. Mayor?
So thank you all for considering Colleen. Sounds like she has great support. I too, of course, have known her pretty much my whole life. She was raised here, and she raised her family here. She is a Navy veteran, and she has volunteered and stepped up whenever we've asked her. I think she represents ethical, right, and moral behavior, which is what this position's all about. And I think she'll be a great asset to this commission.
Thank you, Mayor. Anything further? Just the committee. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Communication D from the February 23rd, 2026 agenda from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding the appointment of Arthur Kelly, 19 Holcomb Street, West Haven, to the Ethics Commission. Mr. Kelly's appointment will be replacing Richard Tracy, whose term expired and will be effective immediately and expires on January 31st, 2031. I'm going to hold this Communication E from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding the appointment of Sean Fawnin, 65 Perry Merrill Drive, West Haven, to the West Haven Allentown Fire Commission panel of alternates. Mr. Fawnin's appointment will be filling a vacancy and will be effective immediately and expires on January 31st, 2029. I'd like to bring this out to favorably to the whole council.
So moved.
Second.
I have a second.
Second.
Who's second? Thank you, Melly. Any discussion from the committee? Go ahead, Sarah.
I also know Sean Fawnin, and I think he will also make a great addition to the Ethics Commission.
Thank you, Sarah. I, as chairman of Personnel and Civil Service, I know Sean. I know the Fawnin family. A great family. His brother is a retired state trooper. Sean is a retired police officer here in the city. His father is a retired Connecticut state trooper, a retired chief of Clinton, and a retired U.S. Marshal. He comes from good stock. He's a great guy. I used to sleep over their house when I was a kid. We all went to St. Louis Grammar School up on the hill, and the Fawnins are wonderful people, and Sean is a wonderful person. Thank you.
I echo the appointment by Mayor Boer of Sean Fawnin. Sean and I served as union presidents in different municipalities at the same time, and we met often to talk about the different challenges that we face. And for Sean, it was always, the betterment of the men and women of his police department, but also the city of West Haven. If you were to inspect his veins, you would bleed Westie blue through and through for Sean. He's a man of integrity, and just someone that I'm proud to call a friend.
Thank you. Anyone else on the council? Seeing none, discussions closed. Oh, I'm sorry, Mayor.
No, that's okay. So thank you for your support of Sean. Yes, he comes from a long line of public safety and has served our city with distinction. Is very ethical and committed. Everything he does, he puts his 200% in. So I know he'll do a great job. Someone may be wondering, well, why would somebody from the West Shore be going on the Allentown Fire Commission? So just as a reminder, the resolution states that there's 3, even though the Allentown Fire Department is part of the city, and there's 3 commissioners from Allentown, you also need to have 2 alternates, one from the Center District and one from the West Shore District, so that they are representing those districts, because Allentown is making decisions that sometimes impact all. So that's why he is coming from the West Shore to represent the Allentown Fire District. And I know they will welcome him, and I know his public safety experience and knowledge will lend well to that commission. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Communication F from tonight's agenda from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding the appointment of Richard Tracy, 85 Honeypot Road, West Haven, to the West Haven Housing Authority. Mr. Tracy's appointment will be replacing Rosemarie Payne, whose term expired and will be effective immediately and expires on March 31st, 2031. I'd like to entertain a motion to bring this out favorably to the council.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Thank you, Mr. Rivera. Any discussion? I'll open it up to the whole council. Any discussion? I've known Mr. Tracy, I think, my whole life. So he's I can't say anything bad about him. He's a great guy. He's mentored me at times and provided positive guidance in my life, and I think he's a great guy. So I do appreciate Mr. Tracy. Thank you. Anyone else, Mayor?
Yes. Thank you for your support of Rich Tracy. He is coming from the Ethics Commission. He served with distinction. As many of you know, the Housing Authority, even though it's federally it's funded separately through the federal government. The city, the mayor, makes the appointments with your approval for the Housing Authority, which has oversight over the Housing Authority Commissioner. So this is a very critical role. It serves the vulnerable population within the city of West Haven. And Rosemarie Payne, I want to thank her for her service because as an attorney, she provided a lot of guidance to the Housing Authority when they were going through struggles. But she served a number of years, and she said, she has her own practice, and it has ramped up. And so she actually told me a year ago that when he finds somebody else to replace me, then I'll step aside. And so I called her up and I said, thanks for sticking it out another year. But I asked Rich if he would step in this role. And so I think he'll be great in the role. So thank you.
Thank you. I'd also like to thank Ms. Payne for her dedication and service to the Housing Authority. She did a great job. So hearing no more discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Mr. Chairman, that concludes the business of Personnel and Civil Service at 7:51.
Thank you. Time is 19:51. And council's whole is reconvening. We have no unfinished business. So now we will move on to committee reports. Madam Clerk, would you please read Communication A into the record?
Communication A from the February 23rd, 2026 agenda from the tax collector regarding refund of overpayments for January 2026 will be filed with tonight's minutes.
Thank you. First up for committee reports is Infrastructure and Technology Committee, Chairman Rivera.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Your Committee on Infrastructure and Technology met on this 9th day of March 2026 to consider the matter of referring the Downtown Municipal Development Plan to the Planning and Zoning Commission. And it is the unanimous opinion of the committee that the City Council refer the Downtown Municipal Development Plan to the Planning and Zoning Commission for an advisory opinion pursuant to Connecticut General Statute 8-191, and so I move.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilman Rivera to refer the Downtown Municipal Development Plan to Planning and Zoning Commission for an advisory opinion. May I have a second? Second from Councilman Quagliani. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Your Committee on Infrastructure and Technology met on this 9th day of March 2026 to consider the matter of designation of the West Haven Redevelopment Agency as the City of West Haven's redevelopment agency for purpose of holding a public hearing.
The rest of it.
That's all I have.
On the NDP.
Got it. And it is unanimous opinion of the committee that the City Council refer the Downtown Municipal Development Plan. Oh, I'm sorry. And it is the unanimous opinion of the committee that the City Council refer designating of the West Haven Redevelopment Agency as the City of West Haven's redevelopment agency for the purpose of holding a public hearing.
I have a motion from Councilman Rivera to designate the West Haven Redevelopment Agency as the City of West Haven's development agency for purposes of holding public hearings on the Downtown Municipal Development Plan. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Councilwoman Garthwaite. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Is that all, Chairman? Thank you. Next up is the Finance Committee. Chairwoman Acbarelli.
Thank you, Chairman. First up, we have Communication G to the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven. Your Committee on Finance, to whom was referred the matter of consideration and action regarding animal shelter donations, reports that the committee met on the 9th day of March 2026 to consider said matter. It is the unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Resolved. The City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves the following donations totaling $1,941.84 to be deposited into line item number 101-000-28285 Animal Shelter Donations. Janet Schlosser, $100. William Gilbert Jr., $25. Donald Lefrancois, $50. Alberta Davis, $25. Stanley Kuziel, $50. Patricia Bolteri, $50. Alice Mons, $25. Mitchell Goldblatt, $25. West Haven Memorial Post, 9422, $50. Ariel Filchak, $50. Melissa Carmody, $200. WH911 Local 5127, $40. Catherine Rickle, $30. Walmart, $221.84. And M&T Bank, $1,000. And I so move.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilwoman Akbarelli regarding the matter of animal shelter donations. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilwoman Garthwaite. Any discussion? Ms. Ronan, your mic, please. The bane
I
of
would
your
just like to
existence.
thank everyone for their donations to the West Haven Animal Shelter. Besides the last two, M&T Bank and Walmart, I recognize all the names from my family. That's that. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Thank you, Chairman. Next up is Communication H. To the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven, your Committee on Finance, to whom was referred the matter of consideration and action regarding the reports that the committee met on the 9th day of March 2026 to consider said matter. It is the unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Whereas the City of West Haven Community Development Administration has grant funds available for its 52nd program year, July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027, FY 2026 to 2027, through the Community Development Block Grant Program of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And whereas the West Haven Youth and Family Services desires to apply for a portion of such funds, in particular, $2,551 for its WHINC English and Spanish parent support groups and respite. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Diane Dietman, as Director of Youth and Family Services of the City of West Haven, is authorized and directed to execute and deliver any and all documents related to this resolution on behalf of the City of West Haven, and to do and perform all acts and things which she deems to be necessary or appropriate to carry out the terms of such documents, including but not limited to executing and delivering all agreements and documents contemplated by such documents. And I so move.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilwoman Akbarelli regarding an application for a community development block grant from WHINC, English and Spanish parent support groups and respite in the amount of $2,551. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilwoman Tucker. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Thank you, Chairman. Next up is Communication I. To the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven. Your Committee on Finance, to whom was referred the matter in consideration and action regarding reports that the committee met on the 9th day of March 2026 to consider said matter. It is the unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Whereas the City of West Haven Community Development Administration has grant funds available for its 52nd program July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027, FY 26 to FY 2027 through the Community Development Block Grant Program of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And whereas the West Haven Youth and Family Services desires to apply for a portion of such funds, in particular $9,550 for its CAFE program. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Diane Dietman, as Director of Youth and Family Services of the City of West Haven, is authorized and directed to execute and deliver any and all documents related to this resolution on behalf of the City of West Haven, and to do and perform all acts and things which she deems to be necessary or appropriate to carry out the terms of such documents, including but not limited to executing and delivering all agreements and documents contemplated by such documents. And I so move.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilman Akbarelli regarding an application from the Director of Youth and Family Services requesting a community development block grant in the amount of $9,550 for the Wink Cafe Support Program. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman McMillan. Do I have any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Thank you, Chairman. Communication J, to the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven, reports that the committee met on the 9th day of March 2026 to consider said matter. It is the unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Whereas the City of West Haven Community Development Administration has grant funds available for its 52nd program year, July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027, FY 2026 to 2027, through the Community Development Block Grant Program of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And whereas the West Haven Youth and Family Services desire to apply for a portion of such funds, in particular, $2,600 for its SIB shop at WHINC. Now therefore be it resolved that Diane Dietman, as Director of Youth and Family Services of the City of West Haven, is authorized and directed to execute and deliver any and all documents related to this resolution on behalf of the City of West Haven, and to do and perform all acts and things which she deems to be necessary or appropriate to carry out terms of such documents, included but not limited to executing and delivering all agreements and documents contemplated by such documents, and I so move.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilman Accarelli regarding a community development block grant for $2,600 for the Department of Youth and Family Services. Do I have a first? Or second? I'm sorry.
Second.
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 Second from Councilman Tucker. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Thank you, Chairman. Communication K, to the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven, reports that the committee met on the 9th day of March 2026 to consider said matter. It is a unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Whereas the City of West Haven Community Development Administration has grant funds available for its 52nd program year, July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027, FY 2026 to 2027, through the Community Development Block Grant Program of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And whereas the West Haven Youth and Family Services desires to apply for a portion of such funds, in particular, $3,500 for its WHINC Social Club for disabled teens and young adults. Now therefore be it resolved that Diane Dietman, as Director of Youth and Family Services of the City of West Haven, is authorized and directed to execute and deliver any and all documents related to this resolution on behalf of the City of West Haven, and to do so and perform all acts and things which she deems to be necessary or appropriate to carry out the terms of such documents, including but not limited to executing and delivering all agreements and documents contemplated by such documents, and I so move.
I have a motion from Councilwoman Accarelli regarding a application for a community development block grant in the amount of $3,500 for Wink Social Club for disabled teens and young adults for the Department of Youth and Family Services. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilwoman Garthwaite. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Thank you, Chairman. That concludes the business of finance.
Thank you. Before we move on, we do have a couple of housekeeping matters that we need to attend to. So the time is 8:04. The council's in recess. Okay, the time is 7:20 and council is reconvening. 8:20, whatever. What did I say? 7:20. I'm still on daylight not savings time. Next up is the Committee on Legislative Matters, Chairman Quagliani.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Communication C from February 9, 2026. Be it ordained that the City of West Haven hereby amends Section 101-1, Schedule of Fees and Applications, Services, Maps, and Publications relating to planning and zoning in order to update, clarify, and consolidate the fees, surcharges, waivers, and administrative procedures applicable to applications, permits, reviews, maps, publications, and related services administered by the Zoning Board of Appeals, Planning and Zoning Commission, Inland Wetlands Agency, Building Department, and Office of Fire Marshal. A first reading and second reading was held, as well as a public hearing this evening. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilman Quagliani to amend Chapter 101, Section 101-1, fees relating to planning and zoning of the Code of the City of West Haven. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Beaton. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Communication E from the January 12, 2026 agenda. Be it ordained that the City of West Haven hereby amends Chapter 10 of Chapter 191, Sewers, to reorganize existing sections, eliminate redundancies between sections, update references to the general statutes as amended, and add the section as noted in the record for illegal sewer hookups and repairs and alterations performed without a permit. A first and second reading was held, and a public hearing was held this evening as well. Mr. Chairman, and I so move.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilman Quagliani regarding an amendment to Chapter 191 of the Code of the City of West Haven, sewers, specifically Article 10. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilwoman Acbarelli. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. That concludes?
That concludes the business of legislative matters.
We're all done. Thank you. Moving on to Personnel and Civil Service. Chairman Ronan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven, your Committee on Personnel and Civil Service, to whom was referred the matter of consideration and action regarding the appointment of Colleen Weatherspoon, 187 White Street, West Haven, to the Ethics Commission. Ms. Weatherspoon's appointment will be replacing Jeffrey Moreno, whose term expired and will be effective immediately and expire on January 31st, 2031. Reports that the committee met on the 9th day of March 2026 to consider said matter. It is a unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Resolved, the City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves the appointment of Colleen Weatherspoon, 187 White Street, West Haven, to the Ethics Commission. Ms. Weatherspoon's appointment will be replacing Jeffrey Moreno, whose term expired and will be effective immediately and expires on January 31st, 2031. And I so move.
I have a motion from Councilman Ronan regarding the appointment of Colleen Witherspoon to the Ethics Commission. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilwoman Tagliatella. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Do I got to let you know we held this next one? Okay. Mr. Chairman, Communication D from the 2/23/26 appointment agenda regarding the appointment of Mr. Arthur Kelly of 90 Holcomb Street, West Haven, was held.
Thank you.
To the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven, your Committee on Personnel and Civil Service, to whom was referred the matter of consideration and action regarding the appointment of Sean Fawnin, 65 Perry Merrill Drive, West Haven, to the West Haven Allentown Fire Commission Panel of Alternates. Mr. Fawnin's appointment will be filling a vacancy and will be effective immediately and expires on January 31st, 2029. Reports that the committee met on the 9th day of March 2026 to consider said matter. It is a unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Resolved, the City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves the appointment of Sean Fawnin, 65 Perry Merrill Drive, West Haven, to the West Haven Allentown Fire Commission Panel of Alternates. Mr. Fawnin's appointment will be filling a vacancy and will become effective immediately and expires on January 31st, 2029. and I so move.
I have a motion from Councilman Ronan regarding the appointment of Sean Fawnin to the Allentown Fire Commission panel of alternates. I'm almost nervous to do this. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from everybody. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One more. To the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven, your Committee on Personnel and Civil Service, to whom was referred the matter of consideration and action regarding the appointment of Mr. Richard Tracy, 85 Honeypot Road, West Haven, to the West Haven Housing Authority. Mr. Tracy's appointment will be replacing Rosemary Payne, whose term expired and will be effective immediately and expires on March 31st, 2031. Reports that the committee met on the 9th day of March 2026 to consider said matter. It is the unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Resolved, the City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves the appointment of Mr. Richard Tracy, 85 Honeypot Road, West Haven, to the West Haven Housing Authority. Mr. Tracy's appointment will be replacing Rosemary Payne, whose term expired and will be effective immediately and expires on March 31st, 2031, and I so move.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilman Roden regarding the appointment of Richard Tracy to the West Haven Housing Authority. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Quagliani. Any discussion? See none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
That concludes the business of Personnel and Civil Service. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Okay. At the risk of upsetting our very understanding, patient, loving City Council clerk, I'm going to go off script a little bit. The mayor has been here since 6:30, so before we go into our work on charter revision, I would like to give you an opportunity, Mayor, to give us any new business, so that way you can go home.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And the very lovely, beautiful, wonderful, exceptional,
Patient and understanding.
patient and understanding Stacy Riccio. Just for the record, that's 6:30 a.m. So a couple of things. Well, before I read this, I do like to try to address those that speak in new business. I know I came in a little late and I see that everybody left. That's what happens when you do a caucus. You clear the room. But I think some of this has already been discussed. The issue on Forest Road, I saw Councilman Quagliani and Councilman Callahan going out and speaking in the hall. So I think you've had that discussion with the woman. Thank you very much. Don Lewis from Ellen Lane, Ellen Drive. We will take care of that snow. That is a cul-de-sac that so when we plow, we have the large trucks, main roads, most streets, and then we have the smaller trucks for the dead ends, and that had been considered a dead end, but we're moving to a larger truck, and we have spoken with him. So just wanted to reaffirm that with him. And then he asked about the lights on the basketball courts across the street next to St. Louis, and I just texted somebody because I think that's a seasonal thing. It is. They don't go out until April. As soon as the weather turns nice, then we turn the lights on in some of those, courts. It's to save money. Let's see, 36 Terrace. I know he left as well. That is a gas company trench that was dug up. I'm having an issue with gas company trenches, as you know. I've brought that up before. So that is a very bad one, and I will be working on that tomorrow. You can rest assured. Let's see, the Board of Education, the woman that spoke here about recreation, we did put those new courts and those new fields in Carrigan right next to Tetlow so that we did have more recreation in Allentown, in her neighborhood. We could always do more, but we did do that. And then also the community center, we specifically chose Malloy School because it's centrally located. We could always use volunteers and help at the community center, anything we do. So I hope if she's listening, she taps in and considers helping us. But she's right, we could always do more. She mentioned the hiring at the Board of Education. Just a reminder, we do not do hiring or terminate. We don't. The Board of Education, by state statute, we provide them funding. We don't direct where their funding goes. We don't direct where they cut their funding. We don't direct who they hire. That is by law. So those are Yeah, but it's always nice to hear from residents, what they're thinking. Yes, right. So the Board of Education is the forum for that. So I would suggest, or call a Board of Education member and express. But it's always good again to have folks come here, so we understand. I think that was it. Terrace, Ellen, Tetlow, Forrest, and then I want to. So we received a request from the Coalition on Gambling Addiction because gambling addiction is March month. So I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's lengthy. I just wanted to share with you that we did do a proclamation designating March Gambling Addiction, Problem Gambling Awareness Month. Excuse me. And just a reminder that gambling, addiction comes in every different form. And gambling is another one of those forms. The theme this year is Caring Communities and Stronger Futures, emphasizing the importance of community-driven approach towards helping those that are suffering from gambling. And I just wanted to make sure I read the helpline, which is 1-800-GAMBLER, and local specialized support services that provide 24/7 assistance to individuals and families impacted by gambling-related challenges. So we're here for anybody who is experiencing addiction in any form. We try to connect those with resources. And is there anything else? Anybody have any questions?
Anybody have any questions for the mayor?
Any questions? Okay, great. Well, thanks for all you do. And I know you're going to deliberate and go back into caucus with charter revision and select the members. I just want to thank you for all the work that you're doing on charter revision. I know you have a lot of great candidates. I know you will do your due diligence. I trust in your judgment. This is, let me know how you make out. Somebody text me or I'll watch a live stream. No, I won't. Just kidding. I'm gonna go home and eat. But let me know how it goes, and I'm looking forward to the whole charter revision process. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Have a great night. Okay, the time is 8:32, and I am calling a majority caucus. Okay, the time is 9:05. City Council is back in session, and we have a question for Corporation Council before we continue our deliberations. Attorney Cassini? Does an employee of the West Haven Library constitute, should we consider that person an official? We have taken a broad definition that is an appointed official, elected official, a board or commission member, and an employee. But we're curious if the West Haven Library would be considered part of that.
For safety's sake, we decided to take a very wide view of that, so I would include that as employee as well.
Okay.
You don't know yet the scope of the work that the commission will look to do if you're able to seat one. You don't know those revisions that it will anticipate reviewing or put forward to you in an attempt to bring up, and so the library itself may be implicated in some way. So it's my recommendation and that of our outside counsel, Attorney Mednick, to try to do your best, to the extent you can, to stay away from all those things with those thresholds that we talked about. Not having too many people that are qualified in any of the ways you just mentioned.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Time is 9:06. Majority Caucus. Okay, the time is 9:26. Council is reconvening. So we're moving on to the charter revision. The first item on this, we do not have Attorney Cassini. I should have. Okay. There he is. Okay. The man of the hour. All right. Thank you, Sir William. Nope. We are, I think we're good to go. So we are moving on to charter revision. First item is the appointment of the Charter Revision Commission. I'd first like to start out to say that we had on our list of interested persons 29 people, very dedicated to West Haven, very competent, very interested in this process. They all know the undertaking that they would be involved with doing a lot of work in a relatively short amount of time. As I've told all of them, we're trying to do 18 months of work in about 5 or 6 months. And everybody that I spoke with really stepped up to the plate, had some great ideas. So it was a difficult process to whittle it down. But I'm confident that those that will be nominated tonight are going to do a fantastic job and do right by the city. And I'm looking forward to seeing what work they have. At this time, the chair will recognize the minority leader, Councilwoman Garthwaite.
Thank you, Chairman Bargo. I would like to nominate Bobby Garlock, Stephen Idarola, and Tony Mancini.
Thank you, Councilman Garthwaite. And at this time, the chair will recognize the majority leader, Councilman McMillan.
Good evening. I would like to nominate Arthur Gilbert, Bridget Hosky, Stephen Johnstone, Arthur Kelly, Lalani Perry, and Gail Tagliatella.
Thank you. We have nominations for Roberta Garlock, Arthur Gilbert, Bridget Hosky, Stephen Idarola, Stephen Johnstone, Arthur Kelly, Tony Mancini, Lalani Perry, and Gail Tagliatella. Do I have a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion.
I have a first from Councilman Donovan. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Akbarelli. Any discussion on these nominees? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilwoman Garthwaite,
Yes.
Councilman Rivera,
Yes.
Councilman Ronan,
Yes.
Councilwoman Heffernan.
I abstain.
Councilwoman Tagliatella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Akbarali,
Yes.
Councilman Donovan,
Yes.
Councilman McMillan,
Yes.
Councilwoman Callahan,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tucker,
Yes.
Councilman Beaton,
Yes.
Councilman Quagliani,
Yes.
and Chairman Vargo.
Yes.
Okay, we have 12 yeses and 1 abstention.
12 yeses, 1 abstention. Motion passes. I am appointing Councilman Ron Quagliani to be the City Council liaison to the Charter Commission. He served as council chairman during the last go-round, is very intimately involved with this process, very knowledgeable of it, and I know that you're going to keep the commission on track and report back to us on everything that's going on. So thank you for accepting that. You do accept it, right? Good. I was voluntold. Okay. Next is we are to set a deadline for receipt of the final Charter Revision Commission report, keeping in mind that the process that the CRC is going to undertake is going to be their decision, how many meetings, how often, when they meet, what they're going to be meet about. That's not up to us, but we do set a deadline by which time we get the final report, and then that's going to start the back and forth work. I would like a motion to set a deadline of Friday, May 29th, 2026 for the Charter Revision Commission to submit its final report to the City Council.
Motion.
I have a motion from Councilwoman Callahan and a second from Councilwoman Tagliatella. Any discussion? Seeing,
I actually have a question.
Yes.
You have the meeting from now till May 26th?
we have them, yes, they will be meeting between,
They'll have their answers all in a month and a half? 2 months?
we're telling them they have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Because we need enough time to receive and review the report and then issue questions and whatnot back to them. Any further discussion? See none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Attorney Cassini, is there any other business that we need to do for the CRC this evening, or are we good? I'm sorry.
No, nothing further for you to do now. As long as all the people that you've just named accept their seats, then it's in their hands now. You just have to communicate to them that they are on the CRC and that you've set a date, 5/29.
Okay. And just for the record, this is a bipartisan commission. We have appointed 5 Democrats, 3 Republicans, 1 unaffiliated, and we did stick with the no more than 3 city officials. And again, we have taken a very broad definition of that term. So we worked very hard to make sure that we stayed within those confines. Okay. That being it, City Council liaison reports. Councilman Quagliani.
I'll make it quick. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a reminder to the council and those at home, tomorrow night is the West Haven Police Department Awards Ceremony. It's at 6:30 at West Haven High School Auditorium.
Thank you.
Thank
Any
you.
other liaison reports? Councilman Garthwaite.
I want to thank the Elks Club for their very, very charitable donation of $2,000 to the animal shelter. They presented the check this past Friday, and everybody knows the Elks do so much, and I'm really happy that they have chosen to help the animal shelter as well. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any other liaison reports? Any new business? Seeing none. I want to just wish the newly appointed Charter Revision Commission the best of luck. This is our governing document. This is our Constitution. So this is an incredibly important role. Ms. Hosky, thank you for your interest, and either congratulations or I'm sorry. Either way, you're gonna be fine. You have a question? Go ahead. Yeah, the other end of the table.
So when would our first meeting be? Or
We're going to notify
Okay, it
everybody,
just
and then the
wasn't-
mayor has to call a special meeting to organize, and then after that, it's all up to you guys.
okay, so that just wasn't said, and I wanted to make sure that.
Thankfully, that's one of the few things that we have to decide on. All right. I wish them the absolute best of luck. I know it's a lot of hard work. We're putting a lot of expectations on them in a very short time, but I know that these folks are up to the task. I know this council's up to the task. We're going to do a lot of hard work this summer. I'm looking forward to working with you all, and I know that we're all up for it. With that, great meeting, everyone. We got a lot of work done. I thank you all for your time and attention to this. I know this was difficult and challenging, but thank you all for your thoughtfulness. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Second, third, fourth. Everyone have a great night.